You have a magic wand. You can change one thing about the education system as we know it today. What are you changing?
This is probably the hardest question that you've asked me today.
Can I do like one and a half?
There'd be a lot of things I'd change, but I think the one thing I would love to fix would be
I would make high school a little bit more like college. If students had greater flexibility in which classes they took, they would feel more motivated in them, and it would take a little pressure off the teacher to provide the additional voice and choice in the class.
I would love to have an education system that understands the context that all of the students that are part of our education system come from, and create an education system that values students of all ethnicities, of all genders, and really understands what it means to be inclusive of all students and their experience.
I mean, if we could take racism and misogyny out of our education system, that's what I would do.
The one thing is that we need to decentralize us as teachers and think about the ways in which we have systematically erased students.
I would change grade-based promotion, meaning that you don't just move along because you're 7 years old, therefore you should be in grade 1.
Promoting students based on their age. I saw a quote once that, and I can't remember who said it, was promoting kids based on their age is the same as ranking athletes by their jersey number.
I would remove grade levels, because I think if you remove grade levels, it completely breaks the system, right? The system is built around sort of this social progression through the grades. And I think if you get rid of that, you open it up to competency-based, you open it up to every child actually getting what they need.
I'm going to get rid of grades, and we're going to assess students' readiness to move to the next thing on the list, and never give them a 97 or an 82 or crush their self-esteem or cause them to stay up at night stressing out, and get rid of grades completely and never talk about them.
Preach, man.
So I would actually like to see less focus on grades in school. A couple years ago, before I took my current role, I tried to go moving away from grades in my grade 3 class, and for a year I kind of did it. And so I honestly, it felt so authentic to teaching and to what I wanted to do. I really got to know the students better. They did better. I gave them more chances. Like, it really felt more real to the type of teacher I wanted to be.
Slow down. You have elementary, your middle school, and your high school. I think we try to cram way too much into each period. I would just like to see us slow down, and we can speed up later.
Probably more opportunities for students to engage in real world learning.
I would say make every course interdisciplinary, simply because it forces teachers to get outside of their silo and to create something new. And where there's collaboration and conversation, there's great opportunity.
So we have a really big focus on standardized testing that I think is at the detriment of our students. I think assessment to some level is important. We need to assess, like we talked about reflection earlier. If you're not assessing, how are you reflecting? And I feel like if we could find a new way to assess our students and make sure that the learning is happening, I think it would solve so many things that I think are a problem in the classroom.
Get rid of all the major yearly assessments. Why are we spending 3 weeks working on a state assessment?
You know what else I might do? I might add some recess to the secondary students.
Cool.
That's one thing that both my kids say they miss a lot, is the recess. And even if they're not out there playing, they're outside, they're walking, they're talking. But kids need to see each other more. Kids need to interact more because that's what they're going to do at their jobs.
grade inflation. I think right now grades are just inflating at this pace that it can't. Your grades can only go up to 100%, right? So students get stressed, parents get stressed. It's a mess out there, and I don't know how to fix it, but I think something worth talking about.
Standardized testing. I think that just needs to stop. I think it politicizes education. I think if we could take that burden off of teachers' shoulders, I think that would take a lot of undue pressure off of this profession that's so important.
And also, maybe if we could get rid of standardized tests, that would be cool too.